Example 1, we're being asked to find the slope of the graph of negative 2 x squared plus 1 at x equals negative 1. So I've drawn a picture of this. At x equals negative 1, we have a y-coordinate of 1 where that black dot is, and we want to find the slope of that black line. Now the problem is that there is no rise and run at a point. So we have a bit of a problem, but we're going to resolve this by picking some arbitrary point close to negative 1. So I'm going to pick that green dot there, and we're going to call that negative 1 plus h. And then we're going to use that dot to calculate slope. And we're going to calculate slope between the black dot and the green dot. Okay, so we've put in here, if I want to find the slope of that, I need the y-coordinate at the green point. So I plug in negative 1 plus h into the original equation here, and I get negative 2 x, or 1 minus 1, negative 1 plus h all squared plus 3, and that's my y-coordinate. I've got my x-coordinates, and then I can just set up my slope ratio for that red triangle. Okay, so I'm going to set it up as a limit. It's a limit as h approaches 0 of the slope. Okay, so the rise of that slope is going to be the y-coordinate, negative 2, negative 1 plus h all squared plus 3 minus the y-coordinate of the black dot, which is 1. So that's the rise between the green dot and the black dot. The run is going to be between negative 1 and negative 1 plus h. Well, the run is just going to be h. So I'm going to put that into my fraction here. And then I'm going to run a limit because I want the limit to h to go to 0. Basically, what's happening is that as I'm going to bring that green dot closer to the black dot, the h becomes 0, and the slope of the red triangle approximates the black slope better and better as we get closer to that black dot. So if I plug this in, I'm going to get 0 over 0, so that I have to do some algebra to get rid of the 0 over 0. So I'm going to expand out these brackets. So I'm going to end up with negative 2. It's going to be positive 1. It's going to be 1 minus 2h plus h squared plus 3 minus 1 is just going to write it as plus 2. And that's going to be all over h. Expand those brackets and some things will cancel out. So I end up with negative 2 plus 4h minus 2h squared plus 2. And that's all over h. So we can see that the minus 2 and the plus 2 cancel out. We can also see that the h's are going to cancel out algebraically now, since we get rid of that plus 2 and minus 2. And so I'm going to be left with the limit as h approaches 0 of 4 minus 2h. Well, now I can evaluate that limit. I can plug in h as 0, so I get a limit of 4. What that means is, as the h gets smaller, as that red triangle, the green dot gets closer to the black dot, the red triangle slope is going to get closer and closer to 4. And so the limit is 4, so we can say that the instantaneous slope at x equals negative 1 equals 4. So we can use that slope then to find the tangent line. The tangent line, we're going to use the point slope form. So I'm going to have x at x equals negative 1, we're going to get x plus 1. The y-coordinate at that point is 1. And then I just need the slope, which I calculated it to be 4. So there's the equation of the tangent line in point slope form. At that point, x equals negative 1, y equals positive 1.